So today we're going to show you a bit of a hack or a build that I've done. I've always wanted a guitar Mando combination, not really knowing 100% if I would use it, but I did take an old guitar. I had an old Jom classic guitar that was pretty well junk. It was in really tough shape, not a very nice guitar, but it was decent enough for my experiment. So what I did was I had taken and cut the top, leaving the corner bracing around here so that it still had some structure. But I just took the saw and cut it out, as you can see, and cut it a little bit long, because in here I could have went a little bit shorter from this point to here. I then took a piece of 2-inch aluminum, 2 by 1/8 inch aluminum, and I'll try and describe this to you. As you can see, there's a piece of it sticking out in the back here, and this is the screw that would hold on the strap. But this piece of aluminum goes something like this. At the bottom here, where my hand is, it bends and follows. I bent it exactly as what this curve is, up to about here. So it sits in here supported by this, and there's 2 screws that have fastened that piece of aluminum up into here. And that holds the tailpiece on, or the tail of the mandolin. And this mandolin was not a very good mandolin. It's the top, you can see the top is caved in. So I'm not losing a whole bunch here. Then it had taken that same piece of type of aluminum, and I made this. A lot of heating and bending, and then 2 screws into the neck of each unit. And I'm holding up this guitar and the mandolin by the neck of the mandolin, and it's not very heavy. This is a very light guitar, but it's pretty solid. You'll see on the top here, as I wiggle it, there's no real wiggle to it, a little bit of back and forth. And if I was to continue on with it, I would probably brace it back here and put one into this part of the guitar to keep it from pushing this way. It will move slightly that way. But they both stay in tune pretty well. The one thing that I am amazed at is how well the guitar sounds after being hacked away like that. Like, this is a butcher job, terrible butcher job. And I'm not a luthier by any means, and I'm not going to say that I'm doing a good job on this. I want to try and get this so that I can. Some steel strings on here. There's 3 steel strings and 3 nylon strings. I had all steel strings, and it had pulled the bridge over and did a lot of damage to it. The mandolin is if I could do one thing over again, I would move the mandolin ahead. The problem with it is that when you strum down, you're strumming onto. When I cut this side out, this guitar held up very well. It didn't move. I thought it would squash together. I thought it would twist or do something, but it held up pretty good. And if I cut closer to here, then I think we're going to lose some of that structure. That's just part of the build. I should lean this mandolin this way so that when I'm strumming down, that it clears the guitar. We're learning on this, and I don't know if I'll build another one, but we'll see what happens with it. That's what we did. And always turning to YouTube for help with stuff, and I thought, well, maybe it's time that I did give back as far as showing what can be done. If somebody else ever wants to make this kind of a hack, This is what I did. Try something else. Please post and let me know. I'd be interested to see what you're doing. Thanks a lot.